Hey guys, welcome back to the farm. I'm Jason with Long Bottom Farm. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, glad to have you back. Today we're going to get a few chores done, and then we're going to talk about, can you make a living just farming? It's a big question I had when I started out farming. It's a question that a lot of people have now. They're thinking about starting a farm. So we're going to go into that, and I'll give you my perspective of doing this for 7 years. And first we're going to do a couple chores, and then after chores, we'll have a little chat. All right. Well, we're gonna do the pigs first. Check on these little guys. We've got some scraps to give them. How's it going, little piggies? All right, come on, pigs. Come on, pigs. Come on, piggies. Come on, pigs. Some eggs, some sweet potato pie that we didn't finish. There's the good stuff right there, buddy. This is a lot of eggs. We made a sweet potato pie with some sweet potatoes that our neighbor grew. And so we give them scraps. We try to just give them vegetable and fairly decent stuff. We don't try to give them a lot of just fillers. The other thing it does is it trains them to come to us so that when I need to get them on a trailer, they'll follow this bucket and it's no problem. And before we go to the chickens, we were talking about, can you make a living on farming? It's something that, a big question for a lot of people, and there's a number of factors that really go into it. How much do you need to live on? What kind of lifestyle do you want to have? Do you have family, children, other dependents that count on you for income? These are some of the things you have to factor in when you're trying to decide if you're gonna go full-time farming. Unlike a 9-to-5 where you're guaranteed a paycheck every week, you're guaranteed, your hours, farming can fluctuate a lot. If anything taught us that, it was COVID when that hit. Obviously that's an extreme example, but if you were in the wholesale business at that time, restaurants shut down. That means you weren't selling to restaurants. There's some people that was their entire business model was wholesale, and that could be gone like that. So one of the things I will say, if you're thinking about farming, is definitely diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. How we diversified is we also sell at farmers market. We also have online. We're going to start boarding horses as a service business, but you could also offer classes on how to cut up chickens, how to make cheese. A local farm near us does a date night where they actually have a chef come and teaches couples how to prepare a meal, and then they get to sit down and eat that meal together. So just think about that. That's one of the first things that come to mind when I think about, can you make a living farming, is you've got to protect yourself somewhat. You've got to be somewhat insulated from external factors. And again, you can't be completely insulated, but having a number of diverse enterprises definitely helps protect you from things like COVID and even smaller downturns like recessions and other different things that we encounter on a fairly regular basis. All right, well, let's go check these chickens and we'll get a little bit more into this, all right? All right, well, we were going to go do chickens, but our water was fairly empty and needed a cleaning. So we just pulled the plugs. You can see where we drained water going down through here. And so we're gonna let that guy fill. That gives us a few more minutes to talk about farming for a living. So I was talking about lifestyle is another important factor. What kind of life do you want to live? Do you want to go out to eat 2 or 3 times a week? Do you enjoy many vacations? Do you have a lot of subscriptions? As far as, all the digital channels, Netflix, Hulu, Disney. That's another thing you have to think about. Can you make a living farming? Because your lifestyle is a big part of that. Some people that can live off of, bare minimum, no TV at all. They don't go out to eat. They don't do anything. And then there's others that want to do a lot of that stuff. From our point of view from a farm, we do like to go out to eat maybe once every week, 2 weeks. We do enjoy Netflix, Disney. It's kind of our family time at the end of the evening after all the chores are done and everybody's just chill and kicking back. And that's something that you have to think about when you're trying to determine if you can make a living farming. One of the things you can do to really help determine that is make you a spreadsheet and just put down what all of your expenses are. Not just like if you have a mortgage or rent, utilities, but also all the extras. Your Netflix, Disney subscriptions, if you have any magazine subscriptions, Audible, Amazon subscriptions. Put all that stuff down. It's kind of eye-opening when you do it. You'll realize, or you can, or at least I realized that, wow, I have a lot of subscriptions and do I really need all these things? So just something to give you a perspective. Again, you still have to decide, what kind of lifestyle you want for you and your family. Write all that stuff down. That'll give you an idea of some of those expenses. And then that helps you in your planning more when you're thinking about going farming full time or even starting a farm, of how much money you need to make it work. About a year after we started our farm, what I did was created a sheet, and it's just my personal finance sheet. It has all of our normal expenses. These are things you have to have, like electricity, the mortgage, which I don't guess you have to have that if you're fortunate, but we have a mortgage. Insurance, dental, life, health. Even if you're working a W-2 or a 9-to-5 job, you have to figure that into your expenses, because if you were to go farming and not do that, then that will become a very real expense that you'll have to pay out of pocket. So it's easy to forget some of these things like medical insurance, because it's just one of those things comes out your paycheck and you don't notice, but
that's how they get you.
It really adds up. So it's something you definitely need to factor in. But anyways, we have a sheet on stuff that we have to have. And then I have another spreadsheet that has extras. And then I have a third spreadsheet that has farm related expenses. That would include stuff like, hang on, as I'm talking, I have a pig here getting ready to eat the hose. Okay, so then I have a third spreadsheet that has farming expenses. That would be part insurance, farm insurance, liability insurance. It would include things that I use for marketing, like the website, any subscriptions related to that. We have a number of subscriptions out to like Local Harvest and Eat Wild. Just all these little things, they really add up. So all of those are in a spreadsheet. And when you get all this stuff together, it really gives you a good financial picture of where you're at. And if you're thinking about starting a farm to make a living, it gives you an idea of what you need to make to continue to live the lifestyle you want, and if you need to cut anything or change anything. All right, water's about done. Let's get this done, and then we'll go do chickens and talk more about this. All right, you're probably wondering why I'm putting all these buckets in here and stuff. We're gonna change out the nesting pads in the rollaway boxes today. Those pads can get poop on them, and then that starts to make the eggs dirty. So about every couple weeks, just depends on weather, this or that, you need to change them out. Hi dogs. This is Greta and Duncan, our guard dogs for the chickens. But you need to change them out. So we take these 5-gallon buckets, we roll the mats up that are dirty, we put them in the buckets. I can do 2 mats per bucket, so 4 boxes, 2 buckets. And then we just let them set overnight. After that, we'll take them out, lay them out flat, and then just spray them off. Everything's so soft at that point that the poop and stuff just falls right through, and then you have nearly perfectly clean mats. So, all right, let's go get it done. Good dogs. If you're wondering why I'm using an bucket to put the eggs in today, it's because I forgot my basket and I'd have to go all the way across the farm to do it. So sometimes you just got to make do with what you have. So we're going to put them in a bucket today. They'll be good. All All right, and now we'll just pull the mats out and put our new mats in. So if you're using these roll-away boxes, you'll want to have 2 mats for each box. That way one's in the box, and then when you need to change it, you have a separate one to swap it out to. Then what we do is just give these mats a good shake out. Get it all over our eggs. Lots of poop. And then we just roll them up. So, and then they fit perfect down in these buckets. There you go. And then we'll just fill this up with water, let it set a day, then spray off the mats, and they're good to go. They'll be ready for next time we need to change these mats. All right, and there we go. Nice clean mats. So again, getting back to farming, can you make a living at this? Another factor to consider is the actual amount of work you'll be doing. So far in this video, you've seen us doing some chores, and we've done some other videos and stuff. I would estimate that's probably about 25% of what we do on the farm. The other 75% is spent building websites, marketing, going to farmers markets, writing blogs, writing emails, maintaining spreadsheets. We spend a good portion of time putting together orders, which is a good thing, but again, that requires a whole inventory system to know what's where and where to find your stock. I've done a video up in the corner, might be in this corner, I don't know if my phone's upside down, but one of these corners, there's a video we did on how to manage inventory, basically using chest freezers and colored bags. Check it out, as I think it'll really help you if you're struggling with inventory management or just trying to determine how to inventory your products. But that's something to think about, again, is the work that's gonna go. What are you trading to do the farm? Yes, there's the romantic side. You get to be at home, you're working on your property, you're building something that's yours. At the same time, it is physically and mentally demanding. Move to the farm, they said, you'll love it. Move to the farm, they said, it's great. You'll have such a healthy lifestyle. Move to the farm, they said, it's amazing. And we moved to the farm. To really make it work requires a lot of time. There are 14-hour days you have to put in sometimes, and that's not all the time. But there are days where it's just crunch time and you've got chores, and then something goes wrong with the water, and you've got orders that need to be fulfilled, and then you just get behind on things. And so that's how I look at our farm. Is I spend about 25% of the time doing chores, about 75% of the time really just not necessarily farming stuff, but actually working on the business, trying to grow it, manage the inventory, and that's the stuff that really matters right there, because that's what's going to determine if you can make a living farming. Is you've got to be able to move product and get the customers what they need. We've spent a lot of extra time actually on our website trying to put some systems into place, and that's probably going to be my next video, is some of the systems that we've put in place that basically make it simple for customers. This is just, I'm getting on a little side tangent here, but one thing I've noticed with a lot of farms is that it's very complicated for the customer to actually buy a product. There's a lot of hurdles for customers, where in today's age, people are used to Amazon and DoorDash and just pushing a button on a phone and having their stuff brought to them, and shipping is a big thing. We're not doing that, but we have set the website up where it's very easy to make decisions. We have a couple options as far as pickup, delivery, and even for the pickup, it's an automated process where they just hit a button and they wait on an email, and once they get the email, then they're good to come pick up at any time that they want. We have some outdoor freezers and refrigerators set up at our barn, and so that makes it convenient for them that they don't have to worry about a time frame or getting to my farm at a certain time. A thing we've done with our shares is we've actually gotten rid of cut sheets. If I was to go to a different processor, there's still cuts I don't know what the name of, and they're all different, and it's just, you almost have to have a degree sometimes to figure out these cut sheets. And of course we can help customers do it, but we've set up some predefined packages where it already lists exactly what you're getting. We process the animal, get the animal back, and then put together the packages afterwards, so the customer knows up front what they're getting, how much it costs. They don't have to deal with cut sheets, and it's one of those things, again, you're making it easy for the customer. So we'll do a video on that. But just another thing when you're working on your farm, when you're thinking about the time that it's going to take to get the stuff you need done, is there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you'll have to plan for, as far as managing your farm and ensuring that it's profitable. So, all right, let's go change these other mats. We'll go feed some cattle, and then we'll wrap up this discussion on whether you can make a farm living, and I'll give you my opinion and our experience pursuing that goal. All right, let's do it. We got a little full with the eggs. All right, we've got all that done. Hey, you probably noticed too, it's a little bare in here. I need to move this. It's just been one of those weeks, so we'll get it in the next day or two. But let's head down, feed some cattle, and continue this discussion. All right. Another aspect that I wanted to talk about is debt. You know, if you're trying to make a living at farming, you have to be able to put up the upfront money and the things you need to get the infrastructure in place, and that is really hard if you're carrying a lot of debt. So if you're thinking about starting a farm, think real hard about getting rid of some of that debt, no matter the cost, whatever you need to do. Again, it could make it hard in a year or two if you just have to work some extra hours and do whatever, but if it leads to your dream of starting a farm, then I think the payoff is definitely worth it. In starting up a farm, we accumulated some debt. We had fencing that needed to go in. We had waters that needed to go in. We bought a tractor. There was just a number of things that we're first generation farmers, so we had nothing. We went into this with nothing, and like a lot of farmers have to do that, and you got to start somewhere, and that required some debt. And I don't think that all debt is bad. You know, Amazon, all of your big companies carry debt. The important thing, though, is that the debt is getting you started to something sustainable that will sustain itself. Debt is bad if you're using debt just to pay for operations that you already have in place. That's not what you want to use debt for, because that just piles up and you don't have a profitable operation in order to pay down that debt. But again, getting started, again, we took on debt to do that, and I'm not by no means recommending take on debt. I'm giving you our experience and what we had to do. It does require upfront cost, and you know, if you have some, you know, a lot of money laying around somewhere, or somebody sponsoring you or something, way to do that, then great. We didn't, so we had to take on some debt, but it got us up and running, and probably after the second year we stopped taking debt on the farm. Pretty much the farm paid for the farm. We had all 3 or 4 of our enterprises in place, which were our chickens, our meat birds and layers, our cattle, and our pork, our pigs. And those have been all of those have been sustainable operations and have grown themselves over the last number of years. We did take out debt on our barn. We consider that a new enterprise for boarding horses, in that the income generated from boarding the horses will cover the payment of the barn. And then it also doubles as it provides us a lot of space that we've sorely needed on this farm for office and freezers and just so many things. As you grow, you just need more space. And we were at that point. So just something to think about if you're going to start a farm. Thinking about starting a farm is pay down that debt. It'll make your chances of success much higher. It'll also make life much stressful. Farming already provides a lot of stress, and you're trying to get 1,200 pound animals, do what you want. You've got weather and things. You've got just so many things pop up on the farm, and you don't need outside things of the farm bringing in extra stresses, and debt is just one of those big things that if you can do without, it's great. All right guys, we just gave the cattle, unrolled a bale of hay, and we noticed a new baby this morning, which should be the last that we were waiting on. So we're gonna go check it out. All right guys, I have a new little calf. We're gonna go just make sure he or she is okay. There, little one. Hey. Yeah, she's probably just born yesterday, overnight. Take a little look at you. So here's a little boy. We got a little boy. All right, that's it. And I don't have my stuff to actually band or tag right now. All right, he's still trying to walk. I think he's got it a little bit. All right. All right, there the baby calf is. And he's laying right there against the fence line. I'm not gonna get any closer because then they go through the fence and it is an electric fence. And I want him to stay off of that. But we'll keep an eye on him and yeah. So we just got the cattle fed. We just checked on the little baby who's a little bull and he looks great. So we'll keep an eye on him. And luckily that's the last one of the year. Having them this late in the year makes me a little nervous. Luckily we've had some really mild temperatures here in Virginia, and we bought this group. You can actually see some in the back there, these belted Galloways. A group of these guys about 7 months ago or so, and knew that they were going to be fall calving, but that was the last one, and the weather's good and the baby looks good. So getting back to making a living at farming, if you want to know my answer, it's yes, you can. We're doing well with it. We still got a lot to learn and a ways to go. There's some caveats that go with it though. What is your lifestyle going to be like? Especially in the beginning, you're probably going to have to make a lot of sacrifices. I know we did. It's just a lot of money. Unless you're moving to a ready-made farm, it's a lot of money. This land that we moved to was cropland, so there was no fencing, there was no irrigation, there was no water, anything. We had one well for the house. And so it was a lot of money to add another ag well to fencing. Now we did get some grants, and that might be another video that we do at some point, is there's money out there to help you get started. Again, there's a lot of upfront cost. Do you have a family? Are they on board? That's another thing. Your family has to be on board. This is not something you want to go solo. It's a lot of work, and it's not just a job, it is a lifestyle. You know, day, night, you're never off, animals get out, weather, you got to have the family on board. But yeah, so yes, I do think you can make a living farming, but I think you've got to be willing to make the sacrifices, lifestyle changes. And again, make sure your family's on board. If they're not on board, it's definitely a no-go. Again, it's a lifestyle, not just like a 9 to 5 where you're doing this here and then you're not doing it. I feel like in some capacity, we're always doing it. Even if we're out for a cookout, we're checking the animals, you know, just watching over the farm, listening. You're just kind of always on call. So I hope that helps. We've done a chicken video, egg farming essentials, and you can look at that video and we actually break down what our profit and loss was on that towards the end of the video. So we plan on doing that also towards the end of this year once I've got our books complete with the pigs and with the cattle and with our meat birds. So we've got a couple videos coming there to really show you the numbers and how we're breaking it down. And if there's something you'd like to see, leave a comment below. You know, our goal really for this whole YouTube thing is documenting our journey through this process. I wish we would have started a few years earlier, but we're here now and we're starting, you know, from this point on. And, you know, I want my kids just to be able to kind of see the journey. 2, being totally transparent, this could add a little income to the farm. So likes and subscribes and different things help with that. Again, that's on me to make good content that helps you and is beneficial to you. So let me know again what you want to see, and we'll try to make it happen. Other than that, if you have any questions, you can leave a comment below. Our websites and emails and stuff are also linked in our About page, so feel free to ask questions. I'm glad to answer anything and help in any way I can. I think this is a great lifestyle. It's great for kids. It's great for my health. It has me out working and doing stuff. And if you're thinking about doing it, I say go for it. All right. Again, thanks for watching, and leave comments below if there's anything else you want to see, and we'll catch you in the next one. All right. Bye. All right. Let's go check some let's go check these chickens. All right. Let's go check these chickens, and we'll dig a little more into this and talk about let's go check these. Blah.